What is going on, homies? We are back for part 2. It is now incredibly late. I don't expect a whole lot of people to turn up, but we're going to try to keep the live streams going. We were without them for a very long time. I'm going to try to stick with a more regular upload schedule of live streams, but no guarantees because I'm not a very good YouTuber. I don't know what you want me to say. But anyways, we are painting Kroot Fiends as the title suggested. We have our one finished one here. A very good boy. We have our almost finished one here. An almost as good boy. And we have one that is not even started. The worst boy of all. Disgusting. Get out of here. Trash. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera around quick and show where we're at on this one. So, focus. There we go. So, he is about 90% done. The only thing left to do is finish the base up quick, which is what I'll be doing first. And then we'll go ahead and get started on Kroot Fiend number 3. And that is 3 of 5. I guess nobody's here to talk to yet. I'll just kind of ramble on about these guys. I haven't really talked about them too much yet, but I'm really happy with them. I think they're very cool. While I start that, I'm gonna look for a paint real quick that we Coelia Green Shade, most magical of washes. I use this paint all the time. All the time I'm using this paint. So I'm just going to be slapping this on the base here, giving it that green tinge. Looking very swampy. But, oh, would you look at that? I mean, it's been like for a couple hours. Apparently that wasn't fully dry. Well, you live and learn. But yeah, so these guys are made from the kangaroo riding Deuterinos from Age of Sigmar. They are the new high elves. I think they're called the Lumineth Realm Lords. Blech. I think I just saw a wild penguin make an appearance. It's nice to see you, buddy. Hi to you too. But yes, these guys are made from the Lumineth Realm Lords, kangaroo riding dudes and dudettes. And what's nice about that kit, several things. One, pretty bang on the right sort of size and shape for what I was looking for. I wanted more, raptor-y, Kroot, predator looking creatures, which is a pretty tough like body type to find for what I wanted these guys to be. But what was really nice about that kit in particular is it was a kit of 5. The normal Kroot Fiends, or the normal Fiends, that come in a set of 3. So to get 5 for essentially the price of 3 was really nice. It's like actually I got a value savings while also getting the models that I wanted. And the only thing that I had to change was the bases. They did need to go up a size in bases, but as you can see, they fill out these bases quite well. Like, they don't look it's not like they look too small on these bases at all. In fact, I think these bases actually fit them a little bit better than the ones they came on. Fiends are on 90mm ones, and I think these guys came on the 60s. So it's just a little jump up, and so now we're the correct size base with a very correct size looking model like this. I guarantee if you had this next to a real Fiend, like, they would look very similar. So this is kind of like a perfect kit bash in my opinion. Like, it looks like kind of what it's supposed to be, and it's on the right size base, right size model. Nobody would complain in game about this thing, that it was cheating in some way or another. So we like that when we're kit bashing and things are fully playable and whatnot. So I'm going to let that guy dry for a little bit. Apparently I should have let it dry longer to begin with, because texture paint, uh, some of the texture paint still hadn't dried. What's that? Have you played a game with them yet? I have. Funny enough, I don't think I've said this yet. Penguins, you can remind me if I've said it yet or not. Um, I have not played a proper game with my Slaaneshi Kroots yet, but what I did play was a little tiny fun game. My 5-year-old actually has a Warhammer army. I don't know if I've said that yet, but when I sold, what did I sell? The last time I sold an army or sold a bunch of Warhammer, I used some of that money to buy them an army, which sounds kind of crazy because they're 5. But so what I did was I bought them the Necron half of the Indomitus box set. So that box set is like a dime a dozen. Like they are, like it's an amazing deal. It's like one of the best Warhammer deals for new Warhammer they've ever put out. And each half of that is like I think close to 1,000 points, like 1,000 points of Necrons, 1,000 points of Space Marines, and you can buy just one half or the other for dirt cheap. We're talking half an army, and I see them all the time for like 80, 90 bucks, $100, whatever, for 800 to 1,000 points. It's an insane deal for brand new Warhammer. So what I did was I bought her the Necron half of the Indomitus set. We looked through all the different armies and stuff a couple times together, and robots. Kids think robots are cool, and I did kind of push her in that direction because she's only 5, and I was like, these guys would be easy to paint, and you could paint them and they could look just like they do in the pictures pretty easily. Silver and gold and glowing green. It's pretty easy to do. And so she liked that, and she likes them. And so so I got her that little army, and we've actually played a little game against each other, which obviously I let her win, and it was fun. But so yeah, that was the only time these guys have been out, was against my daughter and her Necrons. It was pretty funny. But I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty good in game. They are for Slaanesh, which is usually a lot of very small, like strength 4 attacks. These guys get up to strength 5 with a lot of attacks, and they're insanely fast. I think they're actually pretty good. I think they would be pretty good in game to have a unit or two of these ripping up the board, and they could go and fight some Space Marines over an objective or whatever. And they could go tie some stuff up. I think they would do quite well. Crush the children. Yeah. So you go and learn today, kiddo. Life ain't fair. But yeah, I think in total I got them for her for Christmas. I think she has fully painted I don't know, maybe 10 models. Just like her old man, her favorites are of course like the cool HQ models and stuff, which is totally fine. So she's been painting them up first, I think, and she did the big thing from that kit, which I believe is called a reanimator. So she painted the reanimator, and then she's done, I think she's done all the HQs except for the Scorpec Lord. But so she did the Royal Warden, she did the Lord, or the Overlord, or whatever it is, and she did the robot wizard guy, Cryptek, whichever flavor of that he is. I know there's a bunch of different ones now. But yeah, she's really enjoyed it. And I make her do pretty much everything. I don't really help her too much, with the building a little bit and stuff. But those ones are nice because they're all push fit pretty much. So, other than a couple times where she needed a little more oomph, she's been able to do pretty much all of it on her own, and they look good. They look good. Better than some models I see from adults, I would say. Obviously, I'm a little biased. More than a little. I should say what I'm doing here. So for the way I do my Slaneshi skin, first thing I do is I do a good base layer with the airbrush, and I just spray it all with a really light gray. Spray the whole thing with light gray, kind of, hitting it more from above. And then once that dries, then I go back with white, and I hit all the raised areas. So then when I paint over it, it's going to have that really nice highlight. And then the first thing I do, which I can flip the camera around now because it's got to dry anyway, is I go over the whole thing with a purple wash. So it's Druchii Violet, I believe, is the wash. I go over the whole thing with that, and then that's kind of like tinting the whole thing purple. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna build the layers up and brighten from there. You can see our one that's nearly finished over there. See that spot in the middle where it wasn't dry yet? I'm gonna have to go back over that. But so, see, that's how it starts, and that's kind of where we end up. Very nice. So what are you working on tonight, Mr. Penguin? We can probably start painting on this now. Probably dry enough. Words said right before disaster. I really enjoy painting the skin for these guys. It's very relaxing. I really like painting skin tones in general, like skin of models. Is that too purpley? So then the next thing I'm doing is I'm mixing Gene Stealer purple and Ulthuan gray, and then I just go lighter and lighter with that. I was using Slaanesh gray for a little bit as kind of a middling color, but I found that I haven't needed it in the mix. This is one of those things where I start off really complicated with the first model or two, and then I eliminate steps as I go. So as I've been messing around with these Slaanesh schemes, I've found that I didn't really need that extra color. So I've been able to cut that out of the mix and just work with these two, and it's been turning out just fine. No, there was a message there. Space Marines, a friend and me are making a shared army. Ooh. What chapter are they? I had a dangerous thought today, actually. I was theoretically planning out a little Space Marine army again. I did enjoy them when I had them. It was my first army. I think I've come a long way in the hobby since then. I know I could do it a lot better than I did it the first time, and do a lot more unique army. Not that every single thing I do needs to be unique, but like also it kind of does at this point. Painted Alpha Legion, but played Salamanders. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if you follow him, Penguins. There's a guy on here called, his channel, or his page name is Cirxus, I believe, and I follow him. And he, I guess, is like the founder of the, I think they call their little movement Omegan's Wrath, and it's basically Alpha Legion disguised as other as other chapters or other legions. So it's a whole page or a whole collection of cool, you know, Alpha Legion like coming out of disguise as so it'll be like a Marine, and they've got like the, you know, the lightning thing in there, you know, like this half of them is Alpha Legion and this half of them is Blood Angels or whatever. What's that? Working hard or hardly working? I've got a cool kit bash, Vulcan Histon. Nice, you'll have to send me a picture of it so I can see. And, well, Mike Barry, you should know that I never do any real work. It's not what I'm all about. This guy's got kind of like a jaggedy beak on the end of his mouth. Not sure if I'll just do that purple or if I'll go and make that like a bone color. A true hero. Well, maybe just to you, buddy. Should I dox you right now, Mike Barry? Should I reveal your identity? Get you YouTube famous? Yeah. Whatever happened to you had your one little buddy at school that was like kind of a little bit obsessively like following every one of my posts and whatever, and he would always keep you updated on what I'd been up to. Whatever became of that little goober? He's a grown man now. Well, I mean, I would hope so. But is he like kind of the same as he always was, or he's kind of doing his own thing now? Can't have childhood crushes forever. Dang. So I lost my biggest fan then, eh? What's that? I also got a bunch of Necron gun bits, so now I can have all the tubes in the world. Well, what on earth do you need all those for? I can only imagine. This brush I'm using is shit. Desperately need to go and get myself a better one. I'm so cheap though, and I'm so rough on all my tools. It's like I don't know. I never invest in anything good because it just gets wrecked. But then it's like, well, maybe if I actually took care of them, then that wouldn't happen. Good night, brother. Good night to you too, buddy. For random tubes on salamanders, okay? Aren't they like, they're straight though, aren't they? So like, what are you using them for? Not that I'm against this idea. Just I don't know what you're doing. That was that Mike Barry guy. Now that he's gone, I'm gonna full on ruin him. That is my actual brother stopping in to check on me. he moved to the other side of the country. So I don't hear from him as much as I used to, so that's nice that he stopped by. Say hi. Didn't realize he was actually following the channel at all. The ones on the guns are rounded and do good on knees. Ooh. This is very fancy. All these things, Penguin, you will have to share them with me. Better yet, you can post them in our completely dead Discord. That's on me. That was my bad. We started the Discord, and I had all the best intentions of the world, and then the thing is, I actually had my notifications for Discord were turned off for a really long time, and so I just wasn't going on Discord at all because nothing was popping up to like prompt me to go on, and I'm kind of terrible with technology and with like checking things on my phone and stuff. So I just forgot about Discord completely, and by then it had been so long, and I'm just like, oops. Oopsie. So maybe we should try to revive it, try to bring the Discord back a little bit. It's a nice idea in theory to have a spot where you guys can show me your pictures and stuff more easily. Poorly implemented. And I still don't have any connections on Discord. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in the which I'm sure you are too, Penguins. Or maybe you're saying that you aren't now. Other than like the Kroot Discord, which I like all the guys in there. I don't do much with Discord. I like the Kroot one for what it is, and I like to share, Kroot stuff in there, and I like to see other people's kit bashes and stuff. But other than that, I don't really see much need for Discord. I guess if you're playing a lot of video games with friends or whatever, it's good for that, but I don't, so no, not really for me. Not really for me. So we're just going through, I'm just slowly brightening up the skin tones here. Someday, you know what would be nice? Because I genuinely was a big fan. If I could become the Bob Ross of Warhammer painting, where I just kind of have, I need to go to like voice training or voice therapy or something. I need to get that soothing, calming kind of cadence that he had with the way that he talked, and just kind of ramble on while painting a miniature. I think that would be pretty sick. I'd watch it. Certain people, I think, are kind of like that already. Like Duncan can be a little bit Bob Ross-ish. I would pay money for that. Yeah. I get instead of being known for like the afro, I guess I would be known for the beard. Yeah, I think there could be a market for it. I think there could. Just like soothing, calm. What's that weird, I mean, it's not weird, I guess, if you're into it, but I'm gonna call it weird, where people like they like to listen to like people like whispering to them. That's like ASMR, I think, right? I find that very strange, but a lot of people really like it. Do ASMR Warhammer. I'm just like into the mic the whole time, just like. People are just like, huh. Yeah, no disrespect if somebody here's into the ASMR, but I cannot understand that one, which is fine. Mom always said, takes all kinds. If you want to listen to somebody whisper you to sleep, and for some reason that's soothing to you and not terrifying, because I would find that kind of terrifying, all power to you. And I will do Warhammer ASMR for the people. God damn it! Might just get the skin on this guy done. This video, I should stop for a sec and finish the washes for the other guy's base, just so that one's 100%. But I kind of don't want to. I'm kind of on a roll right now. They cover their eyes and lick the brush. My Kroot are white, so the skin tone is held to paint. Yeah, white's kind of funny. Like, I think that clean white is a pain to paint. But if you're doing like dirty, weathered armor white, I don't find it too bad. You know what I mean? Like, if you're able to go wild with like the streaking and with like some browns and stuff, I think you're in not too bad a shape with it. But it really depends. Yeah. Yeah, that is the other thing too. Here's a horror story for you, Penguin. This will just make you cringe, I'm sure. So my first army, if you scroll back far enough on any of the social medias, you'll be able to see them. My first army was Space Marines, and specifically, I was doing them as the Executioners chapter, and their main color is like gunmetal gray or like silver. So this is how like naive I was at the time. And they don't look too bad. Like in the pictures and stuff, they don't look that bad. But rather than you can buy just like, I think they make a lead belcher spray, if I'm not mistaken. Rather than anything intelligent like that, what I was doing was on the bare plastic, without even priming it, I was just painting by hand directly onto the miniatures with a pot of lead belcher. And that's what I did all the way up to like my first like Redemptor Dreadnought and everything really. Like almost that whole army, I think, was like that. So if you go look back through at that army, just know that like most of that army doesn't even have primer. That's how bad it was. And like like I said, it turned out like okay. Like it kind of looked okay. Not the worst army you've ever seen. But if you even looked at those models the wrong way, paint was going to start chipping off them. Because of course there was no primer and it was right on the plastic. So like even like the Redemptor Dreadnought and stuff, which I think was like probably the best model I did in that army, constantly was having the plastic showing because we would be playing a game or whatever and it would get bumped and the paint would just chip right off. So that was kind of wild. Alright, I think the skin tones are more or less done for this guy. I'm just going to hit a couple last little spots real quick. And then I'm probably going to end it there. We might do one more in the night. Not sure yet. Let me just see how that looks next to the other one. That looks about right. Alright, let me flip it around. Yeah, well, if you're enjoying one, and you're still awake, I might do one more. So, there we go. I think it's focusing now. So there is where we're at so far. I don't know why this is looking so bright. Jesus. If I hold it more like this. I'm having a really hard time focusing on this guy. What if it's in my hand? Will that help it? There we go. So there's our boy. The skin is mostly done. Maybe just a few touch-ups. But so if we compare that to the finished one. So here is our finished boy. And here is this one. Oh my god, this is just not working. There we go. That looks better. You can see, yeah, the on all of them I kind of try to go the hands and the crests and stuff. I tried to do the pink to purple. But yeah, so you can see where we're gonna end up and where we're at right now. Like I said, I might do one more of these after later tonight. So you guys can either watch that tomorrow, or if you're still up, being a crazy person, you might see me pop back on again. But anyways, guys, that's all for now. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.